What's up, fam? Dr. O here. One of the fondest memories I have of my father who went home in 2020 is I was, I don't know, maybe elementary school or something like that. And we were downtown Boston Commons, if you all know it. And, my dad, like my mom was with us still, was Pan-Africanist, fought for black unity and all of that, and fought white supremacy in every way, shape, or form, whether it's colonialism in Congo, apartheid in South Africa, the list goes on and on in South Africa, whatever. That he was that dude. You can look at some of his work at Harvard and everything in terms of getting more black culture, more black studies into Harvard. But anyway, I was with him at the park at Boston Commons, and I believe two of my other brothers were there, and he was just reading the paper. And all of a sudden, we saw these teenagers who were attacking a man. I think he was just lying on a bench or something. I don't know if he was homeless, but he was lying on a bench, and they just started attacking him. I don't know what they were trying to steal or whatever. And immediately, my father got up to go chase the kids off and help the guy. And, a story like that, you just think, okay, Good Samaritan, that's all good. Most of us would probably do something like that if we were able to, right? But the thing that struck with me was that the person who was being attacked was white, and the kids who were attacking him were black kids. And it didn't matter to my father. What my father saw in that moment was injustice. And it taught me that my parents, they didn't hate white people. They hated evil deeds, no matter who was doing them, whether it's an African dictator, Mobutu type or whoever, or, white KKK members, whatever. They hated evil actions of people. And it taught me about the importance of standing up for injustice wherever I see it, which is why I started my company, Upstander International. And our model is we help individuals and organizations take a stand against causes, whether large or small. I'm bringing up that story because with the wildfires that are raging in California, we are seeing yet another example of evil mindsets and lack of humanity of people. I've seen story after story of people blaming the wildfires on DEI hires. They're lying about the credentials of people within the fire department. They're blaming the mayor. They're doing all of these things, and the fires are nowhere even near being contained. In fact, at the time of this recording, another fire broke out last night. And the lack of humanity, the lack of care for what's happening around. None of these guys are posting out a link to the Red Cross or some other organization that's helping people find homes, find shelter. And last time I checked, well, I haven't checked because humanity wouldn't let me check something like this even if I could. I don't know the political affiliation of people who are losing their homes, who are losing their businesses, who are losing their cars and the like. And some people want to say, oh, this is Hollywood people. These are just the quote unquote woke people, blah, 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 blah. And then there's another side to this of people who just don't care about rich people, and everybody who's losing stuff is not rich. I'm not saying that. But there's also that attitude of like, well, these guys are just celebrities. They can always build it back and so on and so forth. Homes are homes. Memories are memories, right? And the political affiliation should not matter. The wealth status or lack thereof of a person should not matter. Their fame should not matter. And that's what I appreciate about the Biden-Harris administration, but because this is about to get worse. We know last time there were wildfires in California and Trump was president, he had to be convinced to give any type of aid because people told him that there were some Republicans there or some of his supporters were in that area as well. Look, this is not surprising for any of us, for many of us, I should say. But we need to make sure that we are standing up to the ignorance, that we are standing up to the hate, that we are calling it out. And not only talking, just saying shame on people, calling out with actions, boycotting channels, letting people know that, we're going to withhold our dollars, political statements that are made, whatever it takes. These next 4 years have to be the year that we do our best to retrieve whatever humanity this country ever had. Period, bottom line. This idea, there are people who actually believe now, because they're following one information source, that there's never been a wildfire or an earthquake or a blizzard or a boat or a bridge collapse under a white cisgendered male leader. Like, that's what people are actually believing. And that's what, fake news networks are putting out there, right? In order to keep the dialogue going, because they can't survive without the ignorance. They can't survive without the hate. They can't survive without pointing the finger at somebody to blame, without a scapegoat. That's their business model. That's their political model. For those in the evangelical space, that's their religious model. That's what they do. But the question is, as the late, great Dr. Joe Madison said, what are you going to do about it? It's not about just changing the channel, or I never watch these guys. They're talking about all of us. Their actions are leading to things that are going to affect all of us. And your silence is compliance. This is the year where we have to be active, or the years coming up where we have to be active in uncovering and finding our common humanity, because more people need it. I don't know if they need it now more than ever, but they definitely need it now. So what side are you on? You're going to be a bystander. You're going to be an upstander. Are you going to call out this nonsense? Are you going to, require that people have a little bit of dignity and self-respect, or not self-respect, but respect for others, and not politicize everything? I've never seen an attack of any sort, or a bridge, like I said, bridge collapse, weather event, and think about the politics of the people who are suffering, or the politics of leadership in that moment. So these people have shown who they are. As Dr. Maya Angelou said, when people show who they are, believe them the first time. Many folks didn't believe these guys years ago, but if you ain't going to stop believing it now, I got nothing else for you. But for those of us who do know who do know the facts and do know the real, let's get out there and challenge this ignorance, challenge this hate, and show our common humanity, because we have to continue to build a community where everybody can be celebrated and not tolerated, so we can get one step closer to getting to Dr. King's beloved community. And I'm hoping that you'll upstand with that with me. Peace.